Hello, in this video, I'm going to show you how to highlight and then make graphs in Excel. We'll also do a little bit of formatting in each of those graphs as well. So say, for example, I want to graph the pH for the control and the pH for the experimental versus time. So I want both of them in the same graph. I want to click and highlight the time as well as the pH and come on down. Again, remember that that first cell that gets highlighted doesn't actually get shaded in, but you know that it's actually all highlighted because it has that little light green box around it. I also want to highlight the pH for experimental. So this you have to do with like two hands. Get both hands out. One, press and hold the control button. Next, hover over the pH for experimental, and then click the left trackpad or mouse button, and then scroll down. Again, I'm hitting control, after I've hovered over the pH for experimental, I'm hitting control, then the left mouse button, and then scrolling down. So this is something I do want to graph, right? So I've highlighted all the stuff I want to graph. Notice also that there's no extraneous cells in there as well. So I'm going to click Insert, and then come over to Charts. Over here, I have an XY axis with little dots. That's called a scatter plot. You're going to pick either the one with, dots. You want dots with lines. So either the dots with smooth lines or the dots with like straight lines. So I'm going to pick the one with straight lines right there. Cool. So now I have my time in seconds on my x-axis and my pH on my y-axis. I'm going to move this over. So I'm going to click in the white space and just scoot it over. If you need to zoom out, yes, I would recommend zooming out so that way you can kind of see the whole sheet at once. And you can use the little zoom in and out section right over here if you need to. The next thing I want to graph is the time in seconds versus the temperature of the control and temperature of the experimental. So this time I'm going to click and drag all the way down. Oopsies, I'll do that again. We make mistakes and it's okay. Click and drag, cool. And then I'm going to hover over temperature of control, press and hold control, press and hold the left mouse button, and then drag that down. And then I'm going to hover over temperature of experimental, click and hold the control button, click and hold the left mouse button, and then scoot myself down. And then you can just let go of everything on your keyboard. Then come on over to Insert, Charts, use the XY axis that has the dots, that's your scatter plot. And if you chose, again, you can choose either the dots with smooth lines or straight lines, whichever one you chose in the last one, do the same for this one. There we go. So now I have both graphs, and I want to make sure, like if you look at this graph, I'm missing axes labels. So whenever you click on any of the white space in either of the graphs, a green plus sign will pop up. Click that, and then click Axis Titles, and do that for both of them. So again, clicking in the white space, then the green plus sign, and then Axis Titles. Then double click or quadruple click. You might have to click like crazy on these. But my axis title, to click a few times. My x-axis is temperature. Time. And that's in seconds, SEC. Notice I've capitalized the T in time. Let's get you a little bit wider there. And then I'm going to click on axis titles for my y-axis. And this one looks like it's temperature. So temperature. And that's in degrees Celsius. To make it easier, use the little apostrophe underneath the escape button. It's got the squiggle and then the apostrophe. Use that one, and then Celsius. Close out your parentheses. If I press Enter, it's going to go to the next line. So I can click backspace to fix that, and then just click the white space to kind of get out of that. My chart title here, looks like I'm dealing with temperature, right? So I'm going to click like crazy sometimes, and then click the effect of, let's say I did stirring, the effect of stirring on the temperature of Alka-Seltzer and vinegar. Just to make it formatted right, I like to have Alka-Seltzer on one line, or yeah, one line. So kind of keep that all together. Good. So now you have this graph that has axes labels for X, Y, and the title. So I'm going to scoot on over to this one and do the same exact thing. I'm going to click a few times in axes titles. Sometimes you have to just click, it gets one, you have to do the others. This will be time, space, parentheses, SEC for seconds. My y-axis in this case is pH, and pH does not have a unit. Remember that pH is lowercase p, capital H. And my chart title will be the effect of stirring on the pH of Alka-Seltzer and vinegar. Because Alka-Seltzer was on one line of my previous one, I want to make sure it's going to be on the next one just to make it look a little nicer. All right, so there you go. That's how you, one, how you highlight the cells in Excel, what you want to graph. Two, how to make an appropriate graph. And three, how to make sure that you have labels for your X and Y axes as well as your title. Let me know if you have any questions. Take care.